This video will guide a user on how to add a TVTraffic request through the BBG SharePoint site. First, we'll need to navigate to the TVTraffic site, which is under Operations. In the upper right-hand corner, we'll see this option that says TVTraffic Request. If we click on this, we'll be brought to the form. You'll notice that some of the information has auto-populated, such as my name, email, and organization/division. For most people, the phone number will also auto-populate, but because I'm a contractor, mine does not. So I'll go ahead and type it in. We can also edit any of the fields if we needed to. You'll see at the bottom of each of the pages there will be buttons to navigate throughout the form. If we hover over it, you'll see the color changes. So I'll go ahead and click Next. And now we'll see the general information that we need to fill out. The first thing we'll need to fill out is the service. So I have an option of all the different services. I'll go ahead and choose one for now. And then we'll choose the service date and the service time. If your service does not have an existing show, you'll click New Event. If you're requesting for an existing show, you'll click Request for Existing Show. If you click Request for New Event, you'll see you'll type in the new event name and you'll choose the studio. If we choose Request for Existing Show, we'll see a name of shows. The name of shows is filtered based on what you chose for service. So if I were to change this service to Afghan, we'll notice the show has changed. So I'll go ahead and choose this for now, and I'll choose a studio. Then I'll navigate down here and click Next. The next page we come to, we'll choose the type of request. There are 3 different requests that you can choose: a VOA facilities request, a remote request, and an intake center request. For now, we'll choose VOA facilities. We'll see that depending on which one we choose, the fields are going to change. So the next drop-down is Washington and Overseas VOA Facilities, so we'll choose the city. Then we have Feed to Washington Studio for live insert or tape feed from TV Bureau to Washington. These are radio buttons, so select the appropriate one. Next we have Recorded in Washington. We can choose Delete or Other. If we choose Other, we'll need to specify. Next is Number of Persons to Set, and then your guest name and contact info. For now, I'll just type in test data. Then we'll have the language of the guest, and this is a drop-down where we'll have choices. You'll also see this multi-line text box where you can provide any additional information and instructions. Now we'll see an Add Item button. This is because you can add up to 5 different items or 5 different requests within this one form. So if I click Add Item, we'll see it says Item 2, and we'll have all the same choices that we did up here. This means that you can choose different types of requests, a combination of requests. It doesn't have to be all the same. So now I could choose a remote request. So we'll go through the steps of this. First we have type of remote. There's stand-up, studio live, and tape feed. We have number of cameras needed. We have studio, yes or no. If we choose yes, we'll see we have to type in the city. If we choose no, you will not have to type in the city. Then we have the Feed to Washington Studio for live insert and tape feed from TV Bureau to Washington. I'll choose the appropriate one. And then we have Recorded in Washington, Delete, or Other. If I choose Other, we'll see a specify box pops up. I'll choose Delete for now. And then we have the number of persons to set. Again, we'll have the guest name and contact info, and the language of the guest. Then we'll have a radio button option to choose if this remote into an existing regular scheduled program, yes or no. I'll choose no. And then we'll have additional technical requirements where we can check multiple ones. If we need tape roll-ins, makeup, translation, and if we choose Other, we'll have to specify. Then this says the cost of this will be paid for by, and we'll choose. This supervisor signature is meant for your signature to sign. And you'll also have the additional information and instructions to provide any other information. For this specific request, you'll need to print this form and have the division chief or executive producer sign the form and bring to TVTraffic. You'll see up in the left-hand corner there's a print form option. You'll click this and your usual print options will come up. I'm going to show you the last type of request you can do, so I'll add a third item. The last request is Intake Center. We'll need to choose the type of intake: Skype intake, Streambox, Polycom, or iChat. If you choose Skype, you'll see you'll need to type in your Skype ID. We'll choose Streambox for now. And then we have the radio buttons for Feed to Washington Studio for live insert or tape feed from TV Bureau to Washington. And again, we have the Recorded in Washington, Delete, or other options. We'll choose the number of persons to set and type in the guest name and contact info. We'll choose the language of the guest and provide any other additional information here. Then we'll have the mandatory backup drop-down. For this, you'll choose graphic, photo, or phone. And you have your Washington record source text box. It's a free-form box for you to type in your Washington record source number. And again, this one, you'll have a signature, and you'll have to print this form and have your division chief or executive producer sign the form and bring it to the TVTraffic room. You'll also notice that there's a delete item button. Let's say we decide we don't want this request. We can click delete item. As we can see, we're on item 3. If I click delete item, it's going to delete that item. So now I only have 2 items. Once you're done, you're going to want to submit your form, unless it was one that just needs signatures. So we'll go ahead and click submit. Actually, you're going to hit submit either way, but make sure if it says print, you're going to want to print it out so you can get the signature. So I'll go ahead and click submit. If we needed to go back and change anything, we could click back, but I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And then you'll see a screen that says, "Thank you, your request has been successfully submitted." This is just letting you know that you've done everything correctly. And you can click close, and you'll be brought back to the TVTraffic homepage where you originally requested on.